Biscuit! Hey, I told you to be careful. Hey, stay back. I told you to pay attention. Are you gonna be like this? That's it. We're gonna go home. I'm not gonna let you destroy all these masterpieces. I told you to be careful, but you're not listening. Let's go. This weekend, I decided to bring the kids to the Museum of Modern Arts. The visit was timely because Biscuit has been showing a lot of interest in art and history recently. Even if he didn't, I would have still brought them there. It's a must visit for anyone in New York. It's a classic tourist destination, and rightfully so. I personally enjoy going to these art galleries and museums. I used to walk into those places alone early in the morning, without any phone or distractions. It's just so soothing. When I saw Biscuit learn to draw those masterpieces, I told him I wanted to show them the original artwork. Biscuit couldn't seem happier. I tell Biscuit our weekend plan early in the week so that he has something to look forward to during the weekdays. My work starts very early in the morning and ends very late at night. There's very little break in between. This probably impacts the kids a lot because they have to adjust to my schedule. Aside from walking around the apartment after work, they're stuck in this apartment 24/7. I'm very concerned about this. I'm concerned about their growth. Young kids should be outside spending most of their time learning about the outside world, than be indoors and trapped like this. There's Miss Song, a college student and a part-time tutor for Biscuit, who comes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. He studies English and math with her, starting from the basics. But I know Biscuit isn't learning anything. His literacy skill is already above most kids his age, and even Miss Song advised me that Biscuit doesn't need her. But I still asked her to come. It's the one time during the day where Biscuit gets really excited about. She's more like an older sister than a teacher to him. In the spirit of going to an art gallery, Biscuit wore his artsy shirt. He wore it proudly because he made it. He said he created a MoMA-themed shirt by ripping the sides of the sleeves, dipping them in paint, and taping them back on. He ruined a perfectly good shirt. That was stupid. I told him I would never buy him new clothes. That put him down a bit. But just like all kids, he quickly forgot about that when we were out. He was just excited and definitely over-prepared for that day. Okay, so look. Here are Biscuit's notes. Basically drew an entire layout of MoMA for every floor. He knows where all the artworks are, famous paintings are that he want to visit. He actually prioritized them. So Van Gogh, Pablo Picasso, Monet, and he had wrote notes for every single one of those artworks. I mean, I'm a planner and organizer myself, but this is so thorough. I don't get this organized during my weekends. You must be very, very excited. Yeah, I just know what's gonna happen. You wanna get too excited, you're gonna get too close and lose balance, and you're gonna ruin one of those artwork. And you know, if you ruin one of those artwork, it's something different. It's not like breaking a glass. I don't even wanna imagine what's gonna happen. See, look at that. You can't even pay attention. You spilled the whole thing, right? See? Oh. Put your notebook in your bag and pay attention. This is not a joke. My concerns are fully based. You should see how many times Biscuit loses control of his balance every day. He walks as if his center of his mass is far outside of his belly. Yes, a fish with two fins might walk better. I sometimes think his spine just serves no purpose. So we took some time going over Biscuit's plan beforehand. I took a couple of shots of Biscuit's notes on my phone so he doesn't have to hold his notebook around. And I made Biscuit promise that he would leave the notebook in his bag and pay full attention to the artwork. All in all, I think it's good. He should be fully immersed in the artwork while he's there. Yeah, I just need to be really cautious. I just need to make sure Toast doesn't cause any trouble inside there. So I'm gonna either clip him on my bag or I'm gonna put him inside my bag. Biscuit, do you remember if Toast peed before he came out? Do you remember? I think he did. I think he already peed. Let's just go inside before the crowd comes in. All right? Okay. Both of you, let's go. Let's go to MoMA. Right at 10:30 a.m. at the opening time, Biscuit, Toast, and I got into MoMA. You should have seen the look on their faces. They got so excited. Okay, Biscuit, you have to be really silent from now on. We don't want to disturb other museum goers. This is the loudest that it's going to get. Okay, so make sure you behave and keep your hands to yourself. All right? We started our way up the museum. Most people usually wander into each art room and just stroll around. We did the same, but we tried to find the specific artworks that Biscuit noted. Works from Richard Serra, Mark Rothko, Henri Matisse, Andy Warhol, and Piet Mondrian. The artworks are arranged carefully, creating a flow in the experience. It's like passing through one theme, one generation, one artist's life at a time. Usually I take my time and let the artwork sink in. It takes a lot of focus to feel an artist's soul. The artworks I like are Mondrian's compositions, Rothko's color fields. I like artworks that are simple, tidy, but yet full of detailed subtleties. My taste in art complements my minimalist personality. Yet I didn't come to indulge in those arts. This trip, I wasn't focused on the artwork at all. My whole experience bogged down to looking after Biscuit and Toast. I was on high alert, making sure both of them didn't cause any trouble. The one I was really worried about was Toast. Pets are not allowed in MoMA, to be clear, and the only reason why Toast got in was because he's special. But that comes with great responsibility to keep Toast well behaved. At times, I had to dance with Toast to untangle the ropes. Once that became too annoying, I just placed Toast in my bag, for a bit at least. That way, I had one less thing to worry about. My biggest worry with Biscuit is he gets a little clumsy with his body movements. The night before going to MoMA, I had nightmares of Biscuit tripping over a painting and toppling over a sculpture. Every time Biscuit got frightened and got spooked by a painting, I was the one panicking. He could seriously knock off an artwork. I thought about tying a rope on Biscuit with my bag, but that would be a bigger risk. There are a lot of people at MoMA during the weekends, and that would trip someone over. So I kept reminding him to be careful. I told him his hand should be nowhere else but his belly. Biscuit had his own checklist of art that he wanted to see. Biscuit seems to like the surrealist impressionist artworks, sort of like abstract dreamlike art styles from Claude Monet and Picasso. I could tell based on how he reacted to seeing those paintings and how dangerously close he stood next to them. He took the time to look at them deeply, and he would try to imitate the characters in the painting and pose next to them. I've not seen any other kids look at a painting that long. I'm glad he did because that showed me that he was engaged. Yes, coming up too close was very risky, but he managed to self-correct. Biscuit was more careful than he usually was. It was as if Biscuit was paying attention to all the artwork. My words alone wouldn't have been able to fix his clumsiness. Biscuit told me an interesting fact. Rothko himself recommended that people should look at his work from 18 inches away. That's a bit too close, so we looked at it a bit further away than that. But then Biscuit started crying. Biscuit's one of many who cried by looking at Rothko's work. Biscuit said it reminded him of the room where he came from. There were some artworks that Biscuit got too serious about unnecessarily, like The Persistence of Memory, the work that explores the softness and fluidity of time, memory, and human subconsciousness. There's always a horde of people lined up around it, yet Biscuit stared at it for as long as it could. He scribbled a small note till I had to force him out. He was so focused. I couldn't tell but tell him to lighten up. It's just an artwork. I know I get engaged in the art, but not this dramatically. He began sketching those artworks in his notebook, jotted a couple of notes on them, and wrote down the time. I patiently waited. I was very curious about what he was thinking and what he was writing down, but I didn't ask him. I gave him the space and time for his thoughts to roam around freely without me. I think it's important to give him that alone time. Some part of you is just best kept to yourself. After going through a couple more sections, we were done and finished with our tour. It took a total of 4 hours. That's the longest time I've stayed in a museum. And just as I thought Biscuit matured after the visit, I was reminded that Biscuit was still a kid. Okay, no more ice cream. Look at you, you're so exhausted. Can't get around MoMA without being this tired. No more sweets, no more ice cream. No more. Yeah, I had a lot of fun in MoMA today. As I mentioned earlier, the artwork here is timeless. In fact, the artwork here doesn't follow any trends or doesn't follow any fashion culture, and the stories themselves is relatable to every generation. So I like to come here every now and then. I felt really lucky today because the kids were also very well behaved. For example, Toast didn't cause any trouble. There was bathroom at every floor, so we could always visit that. It was a miracle. Another one is Biscuit really enjoyed the art museum more than I expected. So I'm thinking about looking into some art academies that Biscuit can go. He's showing a lot of talent art, so let me look into that. For the rest of that afternoon, we wrapped up our visit by looking over some of Biscuit's sketches of the artwork. Many of his drawings were unrecognizable, meaning his drawing skill doesn't match to his level of interest. We sipped on our drinks and bought a couple of souvenirs. We went back home calling it another good weekend. It would have been perfect if Toast hadn't peed on my bag. It could have saved me from doing another laundry. But at least we didn't ruin an artwork. And I hope we never do. No, you already have a lot of notebook at home. Can you promise you're going to do your homework from Miss Song? Alright, let's get it.
Do you have a bag?
Yeah, I have a bag, yep.
This only one.
Oh, it's 70? Oh,
And this is 34.
the notebook is 34. May I get a receipt, please?